Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tips and Tricks in OBS and Video Editing. I'm your host, Stando, and last week I showed you guys how to capture gameplay on your PlayStation 4 or your Xbox One without using a capture card and put that into OBS. And I told you guys at the end of that video that I was going to help you set up your microphone audio to make it sound more professional without using an audio mixer or an XLR mic. However, something came up this week. I was visiting a fellow streamer's stream, watching her. She's a good friend of mine. Her name is Jeans1978. And she said one of her major problems that she was trying to learn how to do was set up her video capture card and her webcam and get that audio from the video capture card working in OBS where she can monitor it. And that is rudimentary stuff in OBS. So I do need to teach you guys how to do that. And so let's get on that. Yeah, that's an important thing to know. So I'm going to focus on that this week instead. We'll do the microphone thing later. She had a few good ideas for this video series that she needed help with. So not only am I going to make this to help her, but help you, because this is, like I said, fundamental stuff that nobody's covering. Before we get too far into the video, though, I do want to remind you guys that I do stream on Twitch 5 days a week, and I also have a fantastic Discord community. I think you'll love them to death, guys. And if you have questions about stuff like this, about OBS or about video editing, feel free to drop by my Twitch channel or in my Discord and ask me. I have lots of free time and downtime sometimes that I can look at that stuff and really help you out. And if I don't get back to you right away, I'll get back to you as soon as possible through DM or something like that. So yeah, guys, make sure you're checking that out and finding me on the internet when I'm live or in Discord. The first thing we want to talk about is the different capture cards, right? You kind of want to get a low latency capture card, especially if you're going to be monitoring it, because low latency, and what that means is either an internal Avermedia card or an external, like the portable light, that has like almost no latency at all. There are some capture cards that actually you capture and it's a little bit delayed when it goes to your stream, and we want to kind of avoid that. We want that in real time as much as possible so that we can edit, so that we can monitor what's going on at all times in our stream in OBS. So how do we do that? How do we get that low latency capture card? Well, the more money you spend, the better low latency and the better quality of capture card you're going to get, unfortunately. So some of these cheap capture cards out there, they might not be the best streaming type of capture cards for you. I recommend either the Elgato series, like the Elgato HD60. I also recommend the Avermedia portable light. Avermedia also has an internal card that is great for low latency. Hogpog does some stuff. You might want to check them out. I'm thinking I'm saying that right. Hogpog, is that how you guys say that? Hodgepog? Something? It's somewhere in there. Those are 3 great brands that deliver great things and low latency. Now, if you're using something like a Roxio or some of these cheaper end capture cards, they will look great. They will allow you to capture your gameplay great, but as far as streaming with them, not so great. So the first thing when setting up your capture card is you're going to want to make sure that you have the HDMI from your PlayStation 4 or your Xbox One or your Nintendo Switch even running into the import HDMI on your capture card and the output going to your television. I know that's a no-brainer, right? But you would be surprised how many people out there didn't know how to do that. And let's just say there aren't too many people wanting to stream their PlayStation 3, but you're like me, you've got a Generation 1 PS3, it plays PS1, PS2, PS3 games in it, so you don't have to worry about setting up an emulator on your desktop. If you've got one of those Generation 1 PS3s and you want to capture it, but you can't, because it has what's called HDCP protection. With that on, always on, and no way to turn it off, you cannot stream that. You might want to get one of these. This is an HDMI switch that actually takes out the HDCP protection thread and runs it straight out right into your capture card. So this is just another extension. What you're going to do is you're going to run the PlayStation 3 into the input. That's how that works. And then you're going to run it out of the output 1 and output 2. Output 1 is going to go to the capture card. You don't need to run from the capture card back to your TV. Just run output 1 to your capture card. Output 2, run it straight to your TV. And there you go, guys. You're capturing PS3 gameplay or HDCP protection devices with an HDMI switch. I would show you exactly how that looks on stream, but unfortunately, this device, I think I broke it. It's not been working here lately, but it did work when I first bought it. This is a good way to get around HDCP protection. Okay, guys, I'm actually showing you video footage of my PlayStation 4 running right now because there is one step that you have to do before you can start streaming with a capture card. And that is, you have to turn off that HDCP protection on your PlayStation 4 or your Xbox. I don't have an Xbox One, so I can't do this. I can't show you how to do it, but it should be in your system settings on your Xbox. PlayStation, guys, I got you covered, though. We're going to go in here, and we're going to go down to the system. In your settings menu, go to system. You're going to enable HDMI device link, and you're going to turn off enable HDCP. Now, with this off, you cannot watch Netflix. You cannot watch Hulu. You cannot do any of that stuff. All right. This is allowing you to stream to a capture card, but it still has HDCP protection. So you're not going to be able to watch Netflix or Hulu on your PlayStation when you disable this, because they don't want you streaming copyrighted material to a capture card. Completely understandable. There's my loudest PlayStation, so ignore that. Sorry about that. Apologize about that. It is super loud and I hate it. I'm ready for PS5. I don't hate the PS4. It's my favorite console, but I do hate the loudness of it. Now, if you're doing this on Nintendo Switch, good news, Nintendo Switch automatically just hooks up. It doesn't even have HDCP protection. So you're good there if you're streaming from a Nintendo Switch. Okay, guys, here I am back in our demo screen of OBS. I've took down the dock so it just looks just like your OBS. All right, we have our Hangout screen with our webcam. We have our game screen, and this actually has the display, well, mine doesn't. I've already took it off. But yours should have the display capture right here on the game screen that we worked from last week. So if you want to remove the display capture from the from this scene and use a capture card instead, just click on whatever we called our display capture last week. I think it was just display capture. Click on that and hit the delete key and yes, confirm, and that will remove it away from the scene. Another prep thing that you guys need to do is with your respective capture card, you need to go to the device manufacturer and make sure that you have the proper drivers installed for that device. Matter of fact, Avermedia, you have to do this to get the software installed. It doesn't just automatically install. You have to go to Avermedia's website, look up your device, and download the correct drivers for that device. I don't know about Elgato or Hodgepodge. I've not used those devices, but I would assume it would be the same type of process. So make sure that you have the correct drivers downloaded for your device so that OBS can find it. All right, now I'm back in here. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to click add on our sources, and we're going to add a video capture device. It's the same way that you add a webcam. So if I click on this, I should call this capture card, or you can call it Avermedia or whatever like I said, you can call these whatever you want to when you're creating your sources, as long as the source is not the same name as the screen or the scene or another source. You can call it whatever. So there we are. We're creating this. It automatically, for me, went to my correct device, which is the Avermedia capture card. Now, that being said, Avermedia has this thing called Stream Engine. I don't know if the other two have the same thing. Don't waste your time on Stream Engine, okay, guys? Just don't waste your time. Go ahead, select your capture card, and you're going to start rocking, okay? Now, you can mess around with this. I leave this at default because when I go to, on my device, when I go to custom and to change the resolution and stuff, you see that it disappears. It's gone. And it doesn't allow me to really to customize these. So I'm going to leave this on device default. And I'm not going to worry about configuring the video or the crossbar or anything like that. I am done setting up my device. It is ready. We're just going to hit OK. Now, in your settings, in your OBS settings, you're going to click settings and you're going to go to audio. And you're going to make sure that your devices, under audio, your desktop audio, you want to pick whatever your sound is coming out of. For me, that's going to be my speakers, my headphones is called speakers, Realtek, high definition audio. That's where it's going to send the sound, is to my headphones, and that's where I want it. So I'm going to select this in devices under settings so that I have sound from my desktop running to my headphones, and I'm going to click apply and OK. And you see when I did that, it added the capture card down here in the audio mixer. What we're going to do is we're going to click on that little cog icon. We're going to right click on it and go to advanced audio properties. Now when this opens up, don't worry too much about this. You can adjust the volume and the balance if you want to. You can turn it to mono. What I am going to do is show you that by default, this audio monitoring is set to off. That's why you can't monitor your capture device. What it's doing is it's just sending that sound directly to the stream and not to you, the user. So what we're going to want to do is we want to click this drop down menu, and there's two ways to do it. As right now you can monitor only and mute the output, so it monitors. When you're monitoring it straight to the desktop and muting the actual source. This is okay if you select that one. You'll still be able to hear it, and your fans will be able to hear it, especially since the way we've got it set in the OBS settings right now. Later on, as we get more advanced, you're going to want to monitor and output. That way, we can put this on a separate track from everything else, so that if I don't need to hear the game audio right now, but the stream does, I can do that. Or if I need to hear it, but the stream doesn't, I can also do that. So either way you want to go right now. In the future, we're going to go to monitor output. But if you want to go right now for monitor only and mute output, that's fine. On this slider, you can still control the volume amount that the capture card is putting out to OBS right here on this slider. You can also set it where you want to, and if you want to, you can hide it, or you can go back in and click unhide all so that they all show up again. This is just a way to organize OBS to make it work and be better for you, and only display the tools that you need to adjust. The adjustments that you want to be able to make during the stream, that's what you want showing. Everything else, I would hide it. So, but in this case, if you need the capture card, if you think you're going to be turning the volume up and down, just leave it alone. You can also tweak this through desktop though. Since the sound's going to be coming through your desktop, you can also turn this up and down, this slider. Unfortunately, the way we got it set with everything running to our desktop right now, that also means that Discord and some of the other audio tools that we use, like alerts and stuff, if you're already advanced enough, that's controlling all of that stuff if you're doing it on the Discord slider. Whereas the capture card is only affecting the capture card. I'm wearing my headphones now, and I'm going to turn this down a little bit because this game's super hugely loud, and I don't want it, like, to ruin my experience. Now, I've loaded up Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone. Here we go. So I hear the game through my headphones, and I can see that it's displaying out to the desktop, which means you guys can hear it too. Now, we're going to go back over to our sources, and where we put our capture card, we're going to hit the down button, because as you can see, you can't see our camera on this page anymore. And that's because the way that OBS loads sources is from top to bottom. So the top is always, you know, what's on top is seen first. What's on bottom is seen last. So we're going to actually move our gameplay to the bottom so that it's seen last, and so our webcam is seen first. Typically the order, we'll get into that again later, but the order you want everything is your alerts on top, because that way they're always on top, or and then your overlay, and then your camera, and then your gameplay or whatever other device that you're showing. So that's typically the order that you want. You want alerts on top, then your overlay, then your camera, then your video capture device. So that's how you do this, guys. That's how you capture OBS, or your capture card in OBS. Hope that helps. And that's how you set up your audio for it. Awesome. I'm deleting this off. I am removing my capture card from this device, and you'll see why. What if you are playing your game on PC? Aha. You can either do what I showed you before, play it on the main monitor and use the display, but sometimes you have alerts and stuff that pop up that you don't want to show. We'll fix that. What you're going to want to do is you're going to go down here to sources. You're going to click the add button, and you want to capture a game capture, which is different from a video capture. And I have this set to, what we're going to do is we're going to set this to, in the mode, capture any full screen application. So it'll automatically recognize a game as long as that game is running in full screen. You can also capture a specific window. So if it's having trouble detecting your game, you can try capturing the window of the game and search for that specific window. Or you can capture the foreground window with a hotkey. We're going to set this to capture any full screen application, and I'll show you why. Let's run a little bit of, you know what, let's run the same game. Well, no, Modern Warfare I'll probably have to update. I haven't played it on PC in a while. Let's actually open up Steam. Here we go. I'm going to go to my library and look at what I've got installed. You know what, let's try out good old Elder Scrolls. Here we go. Play. And here you see our OBS, right? So there you go, guys. You can see that Skyrim is now running in OBS. It's freeze frame right now because I'm tabbed out of it to show you. Now, just like before, you want to move this down below the camera. There you go, guys. And I'm actually going to stop recording right now so that you can see how this looks when you're actually clicked into the game. Real quick. Okay, as you guys can see, when you're actually clicked into the game, the animations are moving smoothly and all that good stuff. You can see that the mouse is working. And yeah, so we're going to hit new game real quick. This is how you capture your gameplay on your PC. Is game capture full screen. I'm not going to let this run for too long, but just showing you guys what it looks like when you're capturing on the PC. There you go. Seems fine. However, when I tab out, you'll notice the audio is still running, but the game is frozen, and it's going to be like that until I tab back into the game. That's how that works. That's how game capture works. Now, when you're display capturing, you can have things run in the background, or you're doing a 2 PC setup, display capture is fine. But on single PC setups, game capture actually uses less resources than using your monitor capture. Okay guys, I showed you how to capture your gameplay via capture card or whatever. I showed you how to capture games on your PC using game capture. Now I'm going to show you how to capture your webcam. And guess what? It's pretty much like a capture card. So let's check that out. Okay guys, back in our OBS, you're going to click Add under Sources. And we're going to go to Video Capture Device, just like we did to create the capture card. We're going to call this Webcam. And hit OK. Again, it went directly to my capture card. That's fine. We're actually going to click the drop down menu, and I've got this Razer Kiyo. So let's hit that. Again, I showed you guys that this is not the best webcam, but anyway. Razer Kiyo. So that's been selected. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go down to your resolution. Resolution FPS type, and we're going to hit custom. And this is going to allow us to change the resolution of the camera. So if we want to do 720 instead of 1080p, there we go. But I'm going to keep it at 1080p. There you go. Just depends on what your computer is able to handle and all that stuff, and you can size it up. If you need to get back to that same menu, you right click on the source, go to properties, and it bounces you right back into the resolution. So when you're done toying around with it and trying to get things set up the way you want, you want to match the output FPS to what the camera default is. And you saw earlier, well, you haven't seen yet, but I will show you in a minute that it's currently set to 60 FPS. Another thing is the video format. This doesn't matter. The color space and color range doesn't matter. It doesn't really affect anything. So yeah, all of this I wouldn't worry about. Just leave this stuff alone. So hit OK. Or I'm sorry, before we hit OK, go back. Hit configure video. This will bring up your webcam where you can actually set up your webcam. So you can toy with the brightness. Let's see if we can get this webcam looking good by messing with the contrast and stuff. There we go. It's looking a little better. Not great, but a little better. Mess with the saturation. Ooh, no. This saturation tool. Ugh. There we go. That's pretty close, I think. White balance. It's on auto. Yeah. Put that back on auto. That look. But you can actually mess with the white balance by turning the auto setting off. Yeah. Ooh. There we go. Backlight. That really didn't do anything, did it? What about the gain? Not much. All right, camera control. You can control the zoom here. The focus. Now, on my camera, this came in auto checked, and as you see, it's got that bouncing effect where it's like trying to zoom in, it's trying to find my face, and every once in a while, like if I do this and then come back, you'll see it like reposition itself in focus. Some of these don't work. You want to keep autofocus off and just set it to where it's crystal clear on your face. That way you're not distracting the viewers every time that it wants to go back to the thing. Exposure is a good one to have on auto. Here's your pan and tilt. So my camera has this option where I can pan it right where I can pan it left. There we go. Also a tilt option where I can tilt up or down, which is a pretty cool feature that lets you control the lens of the webcam without actually touching the webcam. So once you've got it pretty much set, the ideal place for me to set this up is where I have my phone camera up right now, which is over a little bit. But once you've got it set in a position, you can adjust it with pan and tilt. That does slight adjustments without actually touching your web camera, which is a really handy tool. This looks this looks okay. Again, I don't think that it looks as good as the camera that I'm using. I would prefer to use my cell phone camera. Again, if you want that tutorial, I'll leave it up there, way up there. While we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to set up your microphone just to get you started. This is, you're going to go into audio real quick, and you're going to go down to audio in your setting menu. Go down to microphone, auxiliary audio, and just select your microphone. At default, it's probably disabled. You want to select your microphone specifically, the one that you want to use. I'm using the microphone Blue Snowball. That's what I'm going to use. And there we go. Click OK. Now, I will show you how to set your audio up to make it sound more professional, because Snowball, it doesn't have like a whole lot of volume options. It doesn't have any volume options on it. It doesn't have any monitoring options on it or any of that stuff. So in a future video, I am going to show you how to set this up to where you can get the most out of your microphone, no matter how much you spend on it. So yeah. But right now, guys, we're learning the basics, right? We're learning the basics, baby steps. We got your webcam. We got your webcam working. We got your video game capture working, whether it be through the PC itself or whether it be through a capture card. So, and we got the capture card audio that James was asking me about, how that worked. So there you go. Again, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you are new to streaming or new to video editing and you have questions, come look for me on my Twitch channel. I am always available to answer questions for you guys over at twitch.tv/stando. Link in the description below. Also, check out my Discord. If I have time, I will answer it right then. If I don't, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Just at me or alert me so that I know. And that's pretty much going to do it for this video this week, guys. Again, next week, I will be showing you something new in OBS. So we're getting you guys set up and streaming as quickly as possible, as cheaply as possible, with whatever tools that you have available to you. And we're going to get more advanced as we go and talk about like the equipment that you should be worrying about. For example, I think that when you're first starting out, you should be spending money not on your PC, not on the gaming gear, not on, you know, all this stuff, but what actually matters to the viewer, whether it be a better microphone, a better camera, better lighting. What makes the experience better for the viewer, first and foremost. That's what we should be paying attention to. And yeah, so the more advanced that we get into these things, the more I'm going to show you. All right, guys. Anyway, I love you faces. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. If this was helpful to you, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that alert button so that you get future updates like this one right away. I also do gaming content on this channel, like video game news. You might want to check that out. I love your faces, guys. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.